that the various expenditure components had amounts that were at variance with the supporting schedules or ledgers as detailed in the table which is shown in the report. Consequently, the accuracy and completeness of the use of goods and services amount of 28,068,595 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair. That is issue 2 and 3.
Very well. Her Excellency, you can respond to the 3 queries.
Thank you, Chair. For the first query, we'll take it in bits. So for one, on Chair, we agree with the auditor's finding that the financial statements reflect comparative balances which differ with corresponding balances reflected in the prior year. We wish to clarify that Kenya shillings 543,663,693.68 was the closing balance as at 30th June 2022, as supported by the Certificate of Bank Balances and Bank Statement. Appendix 1.1 is a Certificate of Bank Balance and Bank Statement. The surplus deficit for the year has since been amended in the financial reporting template. Then 2 under 1, or is it, how do I say that? Query 1 still, number 2, or let's say B. Okay, 2, on Chair, we agree with the auditor's finding that the statement of changes in net assets reflect nil funds received during the year, while the revenue schedule of funds received from World Bank during the year under review reflected that an amount of 25,568,458.20 cents. The management has regretted the anomaly and has since corrected the error in the financial statements under statement of changes in net assets for the year ended June 30th, 2024, on page 4 of the reporting template. 3 of audit query 1. On Chair, we agree, or page 5. On Chair, we agree with the auditor's findings on property, plant and equipment, the PPE and intangible assets amounting to 414,124,981, and in note 24 of the financial statements reflected on an amount of 467,059,955, which represents development projects of 52,433,511.52 cents, which was the development expenditure on equitable share. Additionally, it's good to clarify that the financial reporting template did not have corresponding notes on statements of cash flow as guided by the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. Number 4 of 1, page 6. On Chair, we agree with the auditor's findings on errors found in the budget. Kenya shillings 126,657,680.79 cents represents payment by county on behalf of the entity of Kenya shillings 95,757,955.92 cents, and conditional development grants of Kenya shillings 25,568,458.20 cents, and interest income of 5,331,266.67 cents. The amount of 509,882,937 is total expenditure, which comprises of equitable share and urban development grant expenditure. The management has regretted the anomaly and has since corrected the error in the financial statement and the statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts for the year ended June 30th, 2024, on page 6 of the reporting template. Now, audit query number 2. Honorable Chair, we would like to clarify that during the audit, management submitted the trial balance to assist in verifying the accuracy of the ledgers, and it was duly accepted. It's Appendix 2, the trial balance. Page 9, which is audit query number 3. Honorable Chair, the management provided all ledger schedules to the auditor at time of audit. That's on page 9. I think we stopped there.
Yeah. Auditor, what is your comments on the management responses for the 3 queries?
Thank you, Chair. On the issue of inaccuracies of the financial statements, we wish to state that the responses are not satisfactory, since the financial statements had already been certified and a report issued. So the explanations and support documentation were provided after. Chair, we can only be able to confirm this when we are carrying out the audit of the subsequent financial year, because it will require that the financial statements for 2023-2024 be restated. So, Chair, with your permission, we can verify that when we are doing the current audit for 30th June 2025. So that is why, Chair, we have said the status is not sufficiently addressed. For the issue of failure to prepare the trial balance, Chair, the trial balance was provided after the audit and was not provided during the audit. That is why the issue was raised. Again, Chair, because this will go hand in hand with the statement of the financial statement, then that can be confirmed when we are doing the audit for 30th June 2025. And Chair, the same applies to the variance between the financial statements and the ledgers, specifically for the use of goods and services expenditure component. Chair, the ledgers were provided but had variances as raised in our audit report. And again, Chair, because this has an implication on the restatement of the financial statements, this can also be addressed when we are carrying out the audit of the subsequent year. Thank you, Chair.
So maybe before you stop, can you respond to the response on query 2 and 3, that you were provided with the trial balance during the audit, and you are also provided with the ledger schedules during the audit?
Chair, for query number 2 on the trial balance, Chair, that was not provided during the audit. Query number 3, as I stated, Chair, the ledgers were provided but had variances which were not addressed as at the time of the report. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, maybe Governor, if you have further comments.
Yes, I'll have the city manager kindly address that.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We provided the document that is on, we submitted to the Office of the Auditor General on 19th December 2024 with a forwarding letter, and here we have the evidence received and a stamp from the Auditor General Office. So during the 19th of December, and the auditing was going up to that day, to 31st December. And here we have the evidence that we submitted.
So whose word can we take as a committee? Because the auditor says never provided. You said it was. Auditor, maybe Mark, you can respond to this. I thought you always have documents that you exchange among yourself, and there is an exit meeting.
Yes, thank you, Chair. On behalf of the Auditor General, is that the process of audit, as enumerated in Section 31 of the Public Audit Act, at the beginning of every audit, Chair, we do undertake or do issue a letter of understanding, which, of course, tells the client these are the documents that we'll be requiring as we begin the audit. And before we even start the audit, we have an entry meeting. And in the entry meeting, we plan and agree that these are the timelines within which we intend to undertake our audit. And we agree that these are the documents that we shall provide. In the course of the audit, Chair, we keep requesting for these documents. And at the end of the meeting, at the end of the audit, Chair, we do have the exit meeting where we request these documents even further. After that, Chair, we do what is called a management letter, where we enumerate some of the issues that we have not been able to agree on during the exit, and further give the client additional time to respond or to give the documents required. Chair, if those are not provided, we then do what is called a draft report. Chair, draft report basically shows these are the issues that are going to the report, and if there's any documentation that you need to provide, then provide it at this time. And if you do that, then so the issues are considered addressed. When that fails, Chair, that's when that issue now appears in the audit report. Chair, I wish to point out that in this case, even though the documents may have been provided on the 19th, it's very likely, Chair, that the audit had already concluded by then. And if they had received this draft report and the ML, then if they had provided these documents at that time, then it would have been within the timelines and would have been able to address this issue. So, Chair, 19th may have been the date provided, but maybe by then, the certificate had been issued or the audit had been concluded. So maybe my colleague from the Nakuru County can confirm on that. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I wish to confirm that by the time these documents were being provided, the audit process had concluded and submissions made to the Auditor General for issuance of the report. Thank you, Chair.
I think, the both parties, you need to ensure that all the documents that are required are available so that when you come before the Senate, it doesn't look like a back and forth thing. Yeah, because the timelines are very clear in law. The Public Audit Act is very clear on when the process should start and when the process should end. So I now invite the members. I can see Senator Mbogwa, but before you come in, there are two members who have joined us. Can you put yourself on record?
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Senator Chimera, Senator from Kwale County, member of this committee.
Good morning, Chair, with the committee members. Good morning, Governor, together with your team. Eddie Gisheru Okech is my name, Senator Migori County, Vice Chair to this committee.
Okay, Senator Mbogwa.
Thank you, Chair. Governor, when you come here, we expect to be discussing serious issues, but you are being put here to answer some very minor questions of errors and inaccuracies. I know the city manager is a person well known to me and I know his competence, but we are doubting the competence of your accountants. We don't want to know the accountants of this city because these errors surely are not the issues the governor should be addressing. Nakuru is the fourth city and we should be discussing major issues. Maybe we want to know, is the accountant who prepared these accounts here?
The records, auditor, who signed the financial statements?
Chair, the name is CPA Mary Kagonya, ISPAC member number 12447. Thank you, Chair.
Can you check the status of Mary in ISPAC? Mary, you are here. Mary Kagonya, ISPAC member number 12447. Membership status active, status in good standing. So everything is very good for you, but now maybe you can explain to this committee what happened, these errors and omissions. Is something we don't take easy.
Honorable Chair, Your Excellency, Madam, and all members, perhaps I would clarify a little bit. When the audit took place, as the city manager said, we presented everything. It was such a short notice of audit. I think it took like 1 or 2 days. And then from there, we didn't get any other response from the auditors other than the report. But we did submit everything that was required from us.
Are you the one who did the financial statement?
Yes,
or you
me.
were just called to come and sign?
No, I did it myself.
You did it?
Yes.
Bogo, are you through with your questions? Proceed.
You see, the OAG, you've heard what the accountant has said. Maybe you need to respond because they are actually accusing you of not being maybe supportive and accommodative.
Chair, I wish to point out that the letter, management letter, was issued on 13th of December 2024. So it is not correct that there was no correspondence between us and the entity. That email contained the documents that we required. It also contained the issues which we requested for them to respond. So, Chair, if the committee allows, we can confirm that the email was actually issued on 13th of December for their response. Thank you, Chair.
Because they are saying it just took, I think they are saying 2 days. What was the duration of the audit period?
Chair, unless my colleague can correspond to that, but I wish to negate what she said earlier, that there was no correspondence between us and them, that there was even an email, and I'm sure there was a letter of understanding before the commencement of the audit in line with Section 31 of the Public Audit Act. Thank you, Chair.
Chair.
Yes, Senator Chimeta.
You know, Chair, this is an accountant who, from the look of her presentation, and if I look at her demeanor, Chair, she firmly and truly believes in her statements as she provided. But then again, our stakeholder, Mark, here has taken us through a very elaborate process on how they do the audit process. I just want to understand, Mark, when you are corresponding to the entities or your clients, is there anywhere where perhaps the client signs that they've received the email, they've received the correspondence, so that what she's trying to say, because now it appears it's your word against theirs, we have no document to really show that indeed, she's actually saying you did it for 2 days, and I want to be, having worked in the public sector before, 2 days really you can't provide all these documents. That's why you see your queries are on late submission of documents. So if she's truly saying that you did 2 days, we want to be told by you guys on evidentiary issues that indeed it never took 2 days and that you communicated to the accountant. I don't know if the letter was addressed to whom. Did she have a chance to interact with the letter so that she can present her statements? As it is, Chair, we cannot sit here and ascertain the true and factual financial position of Nakuru City as we sit today, Chair. So we need to clarify, is it an oversight on the part of OAG or is it the accountant side, Chair? Thank you.
You see, OAG is not under trial. They are a part of us. They are a part of our support team. The law is very clear. If you read the Public Audit Act, it is very clear on time frames, when the audit will start and when it will end. And there are several steps, which ends with an exit meeting, a draft management letter, and an exit meeting. So if those steps are followed by the client, then it will not generate into a query. And I want to agree with the auditor that once an audit report has been published, it is final. It cannot be reopened. Even us sitting here, we cannot reopen the report. So the report was done, the query was put there. I think what we can only get the team from the city is that please take the audit process very seriously. Because these kind of problems are not unique to Nakuru. We have seen other counties that appear before us. And I think it's because the audit process is never taken seriously by the accountants. They give the financial statements and they leave the auditor to struggle on his own. And I think that is what may have happened in this case. So please take the audit process very, very seriously. And that is provided for in PFM, I think section 180, 184. The accounting officers, you must take this process very seriously. That's where the problem is. Why we are keen about which accountant was involved is because we have taken a position as a committee that if we get audit queries of this nature, actually the blame will be on the accountants. And we have said moving forward, we will even communicate with the ISPAC about the whole issue. Because these are issues that can be avoided. I mean, issues like simple errors in the financial statements, omissions, or non-submission of documents at all. It is a professional issue. So, Madam Mary, members are very concerned about this, and you can't push the blame to the auditor. Because I'm sure if we ask Mark to give the evidence, he will give the evidence that this communication was made, this meeting was done. Mark?
Thank you, Chair. Mine was just to respond to the concerns by the Honorable Senator Chimera on the issue of documentation. And I wish to confirm to you, Senator, and this committee that every process is documented. There's a letter of understanding and stamped the date it was received. There's an exit meeting.